Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. I hope that everybody had an amazing week. In today's video breakdown, we're going to be going over some fundamentals and some technical analysis breakdowns that we gave to our private CYPRX community. Hopefully you all take something away from this video breakdown, and it shows you all how valuable being a part of our private CYPRX community actually is. So if you enjoy these video breakdowns, giving you guys some deep dive perspectives into our private CYPRX community, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you want to join our private CYPRX community, you guys can visit cyprxtrading.com. You can always feel free to reach out to the customer support email in the description of these video breakdowns. Reach out to me, schedule a Zoom call. I'd love to hop on a video chat with you and answer any questions. So just real quick, we're going to do a weekly recap from the private CYPRX community this week. We had over 30 hours of crypto related research and updated, documented, annotated fundamentals, video breakdowns, all types of links shared in our private CYPRX chat from 2023 to 2024. We had dollar cost average levels given out on our favorite cryptocurrencies sent in advance. We also had over 5 Zoom calls this week, all logged and recorded for the private community. We had sent technical analysis plays from my personal perspective on different assets like GBP USD, gold, and GBP JPY. We also had accurate delta zones updated daily in both crypto and in forex. So once you come into our private CYPRX community, if you want access to our institutionalized delta zones and you don't see one of your favorite cryptocurrency assets, just reach out to us. We can get those delta zones for you. Then we also had over 100 Web3 and crypto related PDFs shared this week in our private CYPRX chat. And then we also had daily fundamental analysis and breakdowns, along with technical analysis plays from my personal perspective, called out every single evening before the next trading day. This is all available for you all at your fingertips. We'd love to have you on the team. Always trying and attempting to build, grow, and help people develop in their own personal trading careers. With that being said, let's head over to the charts and break down an in-depth perspective of some of the things and the insights that we were giving to our private CYPRX community on multiple assets and trading pairs this week. Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Real quick, we're going to jump into the gold chart analysis that we had sent to the private CYPRX community in advance. Now, I want you guys to really pay attention and really consider what it is that I'm showing you all, how accurate this community is. We give these call outs, we give these trade analysis, we give these delta zones all in advance for our CYPRX community. I do not see any other community on the internet right now doing this to this accurate of a degree. Okay, so I'm going to show you step by step, along with covering fundamentals and why gold price even did have its rally today up into the 2060 psychological level. So just showing you guys well ahead of the curve from the start of the week. You can see this analysis was given out Sunday, January 7th at 8:48 p.m. Today, as of time of recording, is the 12th of January. So this is now 5 days later that this trade idea came into fruition. So the students had this information, particularly my personal trade idea, 5 days in advance. And I want you all to pay attention to the overall confluences that we have here. I mentioned to them that we wanted to see continued dollar weakness below the 102.800. We wanted to see a risk on market mood. We wanted to see the rate cut narrative remaining on the table. And we got all of those factors along with some geopolitical tensions today that drove demand and the price of gold up to 2060. You can see here the psychological levels that I have highlighted and the buy scenarios. And I mentioned to them, buys as long as price is above the 2015 psychological level. So keep this all in mind. This was given to the CYPRX community on Sunday, days in advance. All right. Now, let's head into even further detail. I want to go and show you our private delta analysis section. And I'm only showing you all this information to show you guys the value that you could have access to. And it's not just gold that we give this information on. It's multiple digital assets in the crypto space. It's multiple forex pairs. It's also commodities. It's also indices like the S&P 500 or US 30. It's whatever you want access to in the form of delta zones as a tradable asset class. So check this out. Okay, let's go to our gold analysis section where our updated institutional scalper gives these delta zones well in advance. Okay, and I want to show you guys on Wednesday, January 10th. Okay, so again, today is Friday, January 12th. So on Wednesday, January 10th, if we click open the screenshot of our institutional delta zones that we give to the private community, what I want you to focus on is where price action was at when he sent these. Price was at the 2030 psychological level on gold. And you can see down here, these institutional buy levels of 2014.018. Okay. And again, this information was given days in advance. This is Wednesday that this screenshot was sent. Not only this, but if you head over to our institutional scalpers mentor section, he teaches you all via screenshotted PDFs how to pay attention to this content. So check this out. Reacting from the delta zones, we're looking for a violation of lows. We're looking for a fractal break-in market structure that breaks the previous bearish order flow, and we're looking for a retest at and around these delta zones. So take into consideration, on Sunday, I gave the private CYPRX community a pre-planned analysis with these fundamental catalysts supporting the narrative that gold would drive higher into the 2060s, buys as long as prices above the 2015. Then on Wednesday, we gave an analysis in updated delta zones to the private CYPRX community in the gold delta section, where again, the CYPRX students had these levels in advance to be buying from the 2014.018 if they choose to do so, right? We also have fundamental PDFs breaking down how to trade price action when price comes into these delta zones. And I showed you guys that as well. So now let's head over to the charts today, okay? Zooming out to the higher time frame, we're going to go to the 15-minute. Right off the bat, and I'm going to go into the trade setup and how you could have caught this. What did we see? Remember, gold's price on Wednesday, when the overall delta zones were sent to the private CYPRX community, where was gold's price at? It was up here at around the 2030 psychological level. Remember that the CYPRX students had these delta zones in advance, the 2014 psychological level that we gave them on Wednesday when price was all the way up here. You can see that gold's price retraced down into the top of that delta level, failed to break beneath of it. We're going to get into the overall technical analysis in just 1 second, and then retraced up. Where did it go up into? The 2060 psychological level. And here you can see an updated screenshot on Wednesday, January 10th from myself, where I mentioned to them that as long as we still see the confluences that I mentioned to you guys, we were going to predominantly see buy scenarios on gold. And just to show you guys, again, before we get into the technical analysis plays, here you can see that updated information. If I scroll down here in the private El Chapo analysis section, here it is right here, Wednesday, January 10th. What did I say to them? Gold buys as long as price remains above these key significant psychological levels for price to come up into 2060. So literally step by step, we had the analysis played out in advance. We had the delta zones. All that was left to do was for you to gain enough confidence and obviously, of course, manage your risk properly, take initiative. This is not financial advice. This is just going to show you how accurate our private CYPRX community is, not only in commodities, but also with digital assets and indices. Okay, I'm just showing you gold as an example. This is just one of many. But now let's go over what took place. So gold price strengthened as the Fed rate cut bets increased and Middle East tensions deepened. Remember, gold is a safe haven asset, so when there's global turmoil or global uncertainty, it tends to increase in value based off of its safe haven status, along with the market pricing in that the Fed is set to cut interest rates sometime in March or May of this year. And if you go back and you look at the screenshots that I sent them, remember, what did we want to see? We wanted to see the rate cut narrative remaining on the table. We wanted to see risk on market mood, and we wanted to see dollar below the 102.800. So we gave these fundamental catalysts for gold demand well in advance before Friday's price action actually played out. So think about this layering effect. Not only do we give fundamental breakdowns, not only do we give technical analysis breakdowns, but we also give specifically designed psychological levels via institutional deltas for the CYPRX community to be paying attention to all in advance. This is such an accurate community. I'm the reason why I'm showing you guys this. Show me another community out there that has this information or that gives this stuff to their community well in advance. I will wait because it doesn't exist. Okay. And without physical proof that this is happening, it means nothing. I'm showing you all physical proof that this is what we give to the community to hopefully set in motion a decision on your behalf to stop chasing bullish moon boys, and unrealistic expectations from the market via all these gurus on the internet, and join a community that actually provides value. So now let's get into the technical analysis plays. Given the screenshot that was shared in our institutional scalpers mentor section, you can see right down here, right? This is what we want to see. So let's go ahead and let's look at how price reacted to this overall delta zone. If we scale down to the 1 minute time frame, again, given the analysis that I sent and messaged to the CYPRX community, is this not exactly the same? So we'll go ahead and we'll delete this risk to reward profile tool, and we'll look at how price action reacted to this delta. So here you can see that overall market maker pattern as price comes down into the delta. A trap or set of liquidity for the banking institutions to sweep before moving and shifting price to go higher. You can see the market makers then liquidating that low. Okay, so again, reverting back to the screenshot, here you can see that pattern. Once price comes down into the deltas, we're trying and attempting to teach our students how to trade with these deltas. We can see that the low was violated. After the low is violated, what are we looking for? We're looking for a fractal break in market structure. Here you can see sellers were overpowered by buyers. You now have your fractal break in market structure along with the overall risk on market sentiment, rate cut narrative holding the most weight, and Middle Eastern tensions escalating. Understanding those layering factors, this is most likely going to drive demand for gold while all of these technical analysis plays are happening. So once you have the break in market structure, violation of a previous low, price coming into the delta and failing to break lower down into lower psychological levels, all that's left for you to do is wait for that retracement. You take your Fibonacci tool, which is a tool that measures discounted or premium price from the low to the high, and look what price does. Comes straight back into the 62 to 79% sweet spot that we've talked about in multiple video breakdowns prior to this one. And what happens next? We see a beautiful RR trade on gold, stops beneath the low, targeting the overall psychological level that we called out well in advance of the 2060 psychological level. This was over a 1 to 10 RR trade on gold that we called in our private CYPRX community pip for pip well in advance. Okay, I just want to show you guys this, and the reason why I'm showing you all this is not to boast or brag. It's to show you the value that you have access to if you choose to access it. From the 2015 psychological level that I called out days in advance, you guys can see, and this is just a process, all right? Showing you the private CYPRX community. Again, we're not hiding. I'm openly showing you all this information so you can make a decision whether or not to benefit from it. If we go all the way back to the Sunday analysis that I gave to the CYPRX community well in advance, you can see here, just looking at the dates again, this was Sunday, January 7th. What did I mention to them? Buys, as long as price is above the 2015 psychological level for price to come up into the 260 range, okay? This was Sunday, over 5 days in advance. Now look at what happened. Buys above the 215 psychological level. If I zoom out to the higher time frame, you can see price came straight down into that 215 psych level and went straight up into the 260. How were we able to gauge the directional bias of the market? By layering fundamentals, supporting factors that would drive demand for gold, along with technical analysis, understanding these delta zones and how to use them wisely. Well, we had the buy deltas on gold days in advance. Remember, I gave these buy deltas on Wednesday. You can see here, January 10th, 2 days before the buy scenario actually played out. So the CYPRX students had my personal analysis. They had a broad fundamental understanding that if risk on market mood continued, if dollar weakness continued, and if the rate cut narrative continued, that most likely we were going to see demand back in gold, along with the supporting factor that happened today of the Middle Eastern tensions driving demand for the safe haven nature that gold provides, right? All of those factors align with technical analysis and psychological control allows you to participate in this market in a positive and productive way. Do you all see? So again, now that you all know the information that the CYPRX community can provide, not only that, but we had massive amounts of fundamental documents shared in the private chat today. You guys can see our Web3 PDF research only, literally over 100 fundamental PDFs, all updated from 2023 and 2024 for our CYPRX community. In our private CYPRX research chat, literally over the past 48 to 72 hours, hundreds of fundamental documents, related videos for Web3 and crypto research that are never going to make it to the mainstream, all shared in our private chat to keep the community updated. I'm telling you all right now, 2024 is the time to level up. We'd love to have you on the team. If not, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Stick around for further video breakdowns to really helpfully educate you all in this community, regardless if you're a trader, a long-term investor. What we're attempting to do is bring you information that the mainstream is never going to show you. What we're attempting to do is bring you trading information that retail market participants are never going to have or give you. Remember, these delta zones are gathered by our back-end software that no other community on the internet has for multiple assets across the board. So again, this video breakdown is not to sit here and try and advertise what we offer in our private CYPRX community. We are simply here as individuals trying and attempting to provide real value to people. And hopefully this video breakdown showed you that we here in the private CYPRX community actually provide that value. So if you want access to any of that value, whether it be crypto related deltas, forex related deltas, maybe you're just here to access the research or my private analysis via fundamental and technical breakdowns, we'd love to have you on the team. Visit CYPRXtrading.com. If you learned something from this video breakdown, going over technical analysis and fundamentals as to why gold moved the way that it did this week, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.